Planets, friends, and enemies, Aries rising. For Aries ascendant, Mars is the Lagna lord, representing vitality, identity, and assertiveness. Understanding planetary friendships for Aries rising begins with analyzing who is friendly, hostile, or neutral to Mars, and how their house ownership modifies functional outcomes. Mars, lord of first and eighth. Friends, Sun, Moon, Jupiter. Enemy, Mercury. Neutral, Venus, Saturn. Since Mars rules both the ascendant first and the eighth house, it becomes a pivotal planet for Aries natives, giving a mix of vitality and transformative power. Let's now look at how each planet interacts with Mars functionally and through friendship logic. Sun, fifth lord, functional and natural friend of Mars. Sun rules the fifth house of intelligence, education, and past life merit. As a natural and functional friend, Sun enhances the Aries native's sense of purpose and creativity. If Sun is in the first house with Mars, the personality becomes magnetic, leadership-oriented, and assertive. In the 10th house, Capricorn, while Sun is debilitated, its friendly link with Mars can still bring ambition and recognition, though delayed. Moon, fourth lord, natural friend, functionally neutral. Moon rules the fourth house of emotional grounding, home, and mother. Though Moon is a natural friend, it is functionally neutral due to Kendra lordship. Still, its friendly tie to Mars ensures emotional expression remains supportive of identity. Moon in the first house with Mars makes the native emotionally reactive but caring. In the 7th house, Libra, it brings emotionally involved partnerships, though emotional overdependence may arise. Jupiter, 9th and 12th lord, natural and functional friend. Jupiter rules the auspicious 9th, fortune, and 12th, liberation houses. As both a natural and functional friend, Jupiter's influence on Mars greatly uplifts the chart. When Jupiter is placed with Mars in the 9th house, Sagittarius, it gives strong dharmic drive, leadership through philosophy, and fortune through action. In the 12th, it spiritualizes the ego and enhances charity or foreign gains. Mercury, 3rd and 6th lord, natural enemy and functional malefic. Mercury is both a natural enemy to Mars and owns 2 Dustana houses, making it doubly problematic. When Mercury conjoins Mars, the native may face internal mental conflict, communication issues, and rivalries. If placed in the first house, this can cause assertive speech and scattered focus. However, if strong, it may also give debating skill and competitive success in writing or sports. Venus, 2nd and 7th lord, natural neutral but functionally malefic. Venus is neutral to Mars naturally, but owns 2 Maraka houses for Aries, making it functionally malefic. Its placement with Mars in the 1st or 7th creates passionate relationships, but can also lead to conflict or excessive sensuality. In the 2nd, it can enhance charm and wealth if well placed, but may cause attachment to luxury or value clashes. Saturn, 10th and 11th lord, natural neutral, functionally benefic. Saturn is a neutral planet to Mars, but as lord of the 10th karma and 11th gains, it becomes a functional benefic. If Saturn and Mars are together in the 10th, Capricorn, their combination, despite being temperamentally opposed, can yield disciplined leadership and structured ambition. In the 11th, the native gains through effort, networking, or activism. Functional summary for Aries rising. Best allies for Mars, Sun and Jupiter, natural plus functional friends. Supportive yet sensitive ties, Moon, Saturn, neutral benefit combinations. Challengers, Mercury, enemy Dustana lord. Venus, neutral but Maraka, requiring careful handling in conjunctions or aspect patterns. This blend of planetary friends and enemies helps define how Aries rising individuals project power, handle transformation, and navigate relationships, especially when planets conjoin or aspect Mars or each other across functional themes. Planets, friends and enemies, Leo rising. For Leo ascendant, Sun becomes the Lagna lord, symbolizing ego, vitality, leadership, and dharma. Being the natural Atmakaraka and a sattvic planet, the Sun brings noble aspiration to Leo natives. But because it rules only the first house, its influence is highly focused. Understanding who supports or challenges the Sun directly affects how Leos wield their authority, navigate partnerships, and channel purpose. Sun, lord of first, friends, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, enemies, Venus, Saturn, neutral, Mercury. The Sun's royal dignity thrives when surrounded by natural friends, but placement with its enemies can either fuel arrogance or prompt personal crises that refine self-expression. We must assess both natural and functional roles of other planets for precise interpretation. Moon, 12th Lord, natural friend, functionally malefic. Moon rules the 12th house, which governs isolation, spiritual release, and hidden losses. While naturally friendly to the Sun, it becomes a functional malefic. In the first house, a Sun-Moon conjunction may create a moody yet magnetic personality, prone to emotional reclusion or sleep challenges. In the 12th, it promotes spiritual leanings or foreign success, though material drain is possible. The Moon here becomes a gentle destabilizer, offering intuitive richness at the cost of worldly comfort. Mars, 4th and 9th Lord, natural friend, functional Yoga Karaka. Mars is the Yoga Karaka for Leo ascendants, ruling both a Kendra, 4th, and Trikona, 9th house. As a natural friend of the Sun, Mars provides drive, strategy, and dharmic mission. A Sun-Mars conjunction in the first house creates dynamic leadership, powerful presence, and courage. In the 4th, it brings energetic protection of the home, but can indicate mother-based anger or political ambitions. In the 9th, it yields spiritual activism and action-based ethics, ideal for reformers, military leaders, or educators. Jupiter, 5th and 8th Lord, natural friend, functionally mixed. Jupiter governs intellect, 5th, and transformation, 8th. Its natural friendship with the Sun enhances inner wisdom, but 8th lordship adds unpredictability. In the first house, a Sun-Jupiter conjunction creates Brahma Yoga, making the native wise, ethical, and philosophical. In the 5th, it empowers creative intelligence, devotion, and children. In the 8th, it can give occult mastery or moral dilemmas related to inheritance and control. Still, Jupiter often softens the Sun's ego into noble leadership. Venus, 3rd and 10th Lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Venus is a natural enemy of the Sun, yet its 3rd and 10th lordship makes it neither fully harmful nor fully helpful. Venus with Sun in the first house may cause identity confusion through vanity, indulgence, or power struggles in communication. However, if balanced, it gives aesthetic grace and a persuasive public image. In the 10th, Taurus, the native can gain fame through the arts, politics, or public relations. But ego must be tempered to avoid image crises. Saturn, 6th and 7th Lord, natural enemy, functionally malefic. Saturn rules the 6th, conflict service, and 7th, marriage, public dealings houses. As both natural and functional enemy of the Sun, it brings opposition in partnerships or karmic tension in leadership roles. A Sun-Saturn conjunction in the first can indicate inner tension, father complexes, or a burdened personality. In the 7th, it delays marriage or attracts stoic, older partners. In the 6th, it creates rivalry with coworkers or slow but steady professional growth through adversity. Mercury, 2nd and 11th Lord, natural neutral, functionally benefic. Mercury governs wealth, 2nd, and ambitions, 11th. Although naturally neutral, its placement with the Sun, forming Buddha Yoga, is powerful for intellect, leadership, and persuasive authority. In the first, this yoga brings strategic charisma, financial shrewdness, and political instincts. In the second, it gives income through communication, finance, or writing. In the 11th, it fuels success through high-value networks, intellectual pursuits, and long-term goals. Functional summary for Leo rising. Strongest allies for the Sun, Mars and Jupiter, natural friends. One is Yoga Karaka, the other deepens Dharma. Mixed influences. Mercury, neutral but benefic. Venus, natural enemy but not hostile functionally. Challengers to balance. Saturn, strong enemy and malefic. Moon, friend but Lord's 12th, causing subtle leakage. For Leo ascendants, planetary friendships highlight the drama of identity, either supported by noble warriors like Mars and Jupiter, or tested through karmic rivals like Saturn and Venus. How the Sun is situated and which planets assist or confront it reveals how the native shines or burns out on their path of purpose and visibility. Planets, friends and enemies, Sagittarius rising. For Sagittarius ascendant, Jupiter becomes the Lagna Lord, governing faith, philosophy, growth, optimism, and moral compass. Jupiter also rules the 4th house, connecting the native's emotional foundation and inner peace with their overall identity. For Sagittarius natives, understanding Jupiter's planetary friendships is essential to decoding how they build belief systems, handle emotions, and direct their expansion. Jupiter, Lord of first and fourth, friends, Sun, Moon, Mars, enemies, Venus, Mercury, neutral, Saturn. Jupiter thrives in sattvic, expansive company. When it aligns with its friends, it promotes benevolence, inspiration, and righteousness. However, conjunctions with enemies like Mercury and Venus can distort clarity, weaken judgment, or provoke moral conflict, especially given Jupiter's additional rulership of emotional grounding, fourth house. Sun, ninth lord, natural and functional friend. Sun rules the ninth house of Dharma, father, fortune, and higher wisdom, making it a powerful functional benefic and a dharmic anchor. As a natural friend of Jupiter, Sun uplifts Sagittarius natives with vision, confidence, and philosophical fire. A Jupiter-Sun conjunction in the first creates an inspirational leader or teacher with strong moral identity. In the ninth, it forms Raja Yoga, supporting high education, long-distance travel, and success through divine timing or paternal legacy. Moon, eighth lord, natural friend, functionally malefic. Moon rules the eighth house of transformation, vulnerability, and hidden karmas. While naturally friendly to Jupiter, it becomes a functional malefic due to Dustana ownership. A Jupiter-Moon conjunction in the first deepens intuition and emotional intelligence, but may bring subconscious restlessness or inherited burdens. In the eighth, it intensifies psychological insight, healing abilities, or secretive tendencies. This pairing requires emotional maturity to avoid instability or escapism. Mars, fifth and 12th lord, natural and functional friend. Mars rules intelligence, fifth, and liberation, foreign realms, 12th. Though the 12th house is a Dustana, Mars still acts as a functional benefic due to fifth house rulership. As Jupiter's natural friend, Mars gives action to Jupiter's vision. A Jupiter-Mars conjunction in the first house makes the native bold, pioneering, and idealistic. In the fifth, it grants strategic intellect, inspired creativity, and teaching potential. In the 12th, this pair energizes spiritual retreats, healing work, or martial arts with spiritual themes. Mercury, 7th and 10th lord, natural enemy, functionally benefic. Mercury governs relationships, 7th, and career, 10th, two key Kendra houses, making it a functional benefic for Sagittarius rising, despite being a natural enemy of Jupiter. A Jupiter-Mercury conjunction in the first can lead to inner conflict between logic and faith or intellect versus morality. If well aspected, this pair can create powerful orators, teachers, or consultants. In the 7th, it supports marriage with intellectual partners. In the 10th, it brings career success in education, publishing, or finance, but ego clashing and indecision must be managed. Venus, 6th and 11th lord, natural enemy, functional malefic. Venus rules the 6th, conflict, illness, service, and 11th, ambitions, gains, houses, making it a functional malefic. As a natural enemy of Jupiter, Venus introduces indulgence, vanity, or relational friction when conjoined. In the first, a Venus-Jupiter pairing may bring superficial charm or idealized love, but moral confusion. In the 6th, it indicates karmic entanglements, service-related struggle, or romantic rivalries. In the 11th, the native may gain through arts or luxury professions, but with inflated desires or strained friendships. Saturn, 2nd and 3rd lord, natural neutral, functionally challenging. Saturn rules wealth, speech. 2nd, an effort, ego, neither auspicious nor particularly helpful for Sagittarius ascendant. Though naturally neutral to Jupiter, Saturn's restrictive energy often slows down Jupiter's optimism. A Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in the first creates a mature, disciplined philosopher, though the native may struggle between faith and realism. In the second, it stabilizes finances but makes speech conservative. In the third, it gives writing discipline but delays courage or entrepreneurial ventures. Functional summary for Sagittarius rising: Jupiter's best companions, Sun and Mars, natural and functional friends, deep in Dharma and purpose, emotionally complex allies, Moon, friend but 8th lord, Mercury, enemy but Kendra lord, troublesome influences, Venus, enemy plus Dustana lord, Saturn, neutral but restraining. For Sagittarius ascendants, Jupiter's planetary relationships determine whether their expansive tendencies blossom into wisdom or get misdirected into indulgence, doubt, or escapism. Aligning with Mars's courage and Sun's righteousness empowers them to lead ethically, teach fearlessly, and rise as dharmic warriors. Planets, friends, and enemies. Taurus rising. For Taurus ascendant, Venus becomes the Lagna lord, governing personal values, aesthetics, love, and bodily vitality. Understanding planetary relationships from Venus's perspective is essential, as its natural alliances and enmities directly shape Taurus natives' ability to express charm, stability, and resilience. Venus, lord of first and sixth, friends, Mercury, Saturn, enemies, Sun, Moon, neutral Mars, Jupiter. Since Venus also rules the sixth house, it carries subtle Dustana, difficult house energy along with the ascendant. This adds complexity to its interactions, especially when joined or influenced by planets that are either enemies or associated with challenging houses. Mercury, second and fifth lord, natural and functional friend of Venus. Mercury is one of Venus's strongest allies for Taurus natives. It rules both wealth, second house, and intelligence progeny, fifth house, making it a key Raja Yoga Karaka. When Venus and Mercury conjoin, especially in the first, second, or fifth houses, it produces charm, speech eloquence, and financial prudence. These natives often succeed in media, design, education, or diplomacy. Venus's appreciation for beauty and Mercury's skill with words merge into charismatic expressiveness. Saturn, ninth and 10th lord, natural and functional friend. Saturn is a powerful yoga karaka for Taurus rising, ruling both Dharma, ninth, and Karma, 10th houses. As a natural friend of Venus, Saturn supports long-term growth, professional stability, and principled living. When placed together in the 10th, Aquarius, it indicates karmic leadership, integrity, and structured creativity. In the first, it gives a reserved but deeply magnetic personality, ideal for careers in art, law, or architecture. Sun, fourth lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Sun is a natural enemy of Venus, though its Kendra ownership makes it functionally neutral. When Venus and Sun conjoin, especially in the fourth, Leo, it causes inner friction between ego and emotional stability. In the first, this pairing can make the person proud and appearance conscious, but also internally restless. If supported by Mercury or Jupiter, the ego becomes refined and directed towards service or healing. Moon, third lord, natural enemy and functional malefic. Moon is both a natural enemy and the lord of the third house, a trick house, making it functionally malefic. Venus-Moon conjunctions often generate emotional turbulence, especially in sibling or communication matters. In the first, it brings sensitivity and mood swings. In the third or sixth, the native may experience rivalry through family or communication breakdowns. Emotional intelligence is necessary to transform this into creative expression. Mars, 7th and 12th lord, natural neutral, functionally challenging. Mars rules both marriage, 7th, and lost secrets, 12th. Though neutral to Venus, its house rulership brings complexity. In conjunction with Venus, Mars creates intense romantic chemistry, especially in the first or 7th house. But it can also trigger aggression in partnerships or secret affairs. In the 12th, this pairing is highly passionate and spiritual, but needs control to avoid escapism or emotional depletion. Jupiter, 8th and 11th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Jupiter, while a sattvic planet, is not favorable for Taurus rising. It rules 8th, sudden change, and 11th, ambition, gains. Jupiter is neutral to Venus, but acts as a functional malefic. When Venus and Jupiter combine, they may create excessive idealism or misplaced generosity. In the first, it can show a benevolent but indulgent nature. In the 11th, the native gains through art or philosophy, but must beware of overcommitting to unrealistic causes. Functional summary for Taurus rising. Strongest allies for Venus. Mercury and Saturn, functional plus natural friends, yield yogas. Soft adversaries. Sun and Moon, natural enemies, bring ego or emotional distortion. Complex influences. Mars and Jupiter, neutral in nature but bring mixed functional results due to house rulership. These friendships and rivalries, when mapped across house placements, give deep insight into how Taurus natives evolve emotionally, professionally, and romantically, especially when key conjunctions form between Venus and its planetary counterparts. Planets, friends and enemies, Virgo rising. For Virgo ascendant, Mercury is the Lagna lord, representing analytical intelligence, precision, communication, and service. As a dual lord of both the 1st and 10th houses, Mercury plays a commanding role in defining identity, career, and social positioning. For Virgo natives, the nature of planetary friendships with Mercury determines how logic integrates with karma and communication. Mercury, Lord of 1st and 10th, friends, Sun, Venus, enemy, Moon, neutral, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mercury's dual rulership of self-expression 1st and action, public life 10th creates a fusion of intellect and service karma. Naturally mutable and impressionable, Mercury takes on the qualities of those it conjoins. So planetary friendships here heavily color the personality. Sun, 12th lord, natural friend, functionally malefic. Sun rules the 12th house, signifying loss, isolation, and spiritual dissolution. Though it is Mercury's natural friend, its Dustana ownership makes it functionally malefic. When Sun and Mercury conjoin in the 1st house, Buddha-Aditya Yoga forms, enhancing brilliance, leadership, and speech. However, 12th lordship brings internal friction, exhaustion, hidden ego, or detachment from family. In the 12th house, it enhances work in foreign lands, spirituality, or hospital retreat-based professions. Venus, 2nd and 9th lord, natural and functional friend. Venus is the most benefic planet for Virgo ascendants, ruling wealth, 2nd, and Dharma, 9th houses. As Mercury's natural friend, Venus brings luck, eloquence, luxury, and grace. When Mercury-Venus conjoin in the 1st, it creates a charming, intelligent, and well-spoken personality, often drawn to teaching, aesthetics, or diplomacy. In the 9th, this pair brings blessings from mentors, artistic ethics, and travel for education. In the 2nd, it produces wealth through speech, counseling, or creative intellect. Moon, 11th lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Moon rules the 11th house of gains, friendships, and ambition. Although the moon is Mercury's natural enemy, it is functionally neutral here. A Moon-Mercury conjunction in the 1st house creates an emotional intellectual conflict, rapid thoughts, inconsistent moods, or expressive tension. In the 11th, it can bring gains through writing, social media, or teaching, but the native must balance emotions with logic and decision-making. Mars, 3rd and 8th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Mars owns the 3rd, ego, effort, and 8th, sudden change, secrecy, houses, making it a functional malefic. Though it's naturally neutral to Mercury, it agitates Mercury's analytical calm when conjunct or in aspect. In the 1st, Mars-Mercury gives sharp speech, courage, and technical skill, but also conflict-prone language and irritability. In the 3rd, this can lead to competitive writing or sibling tension. In the 8th, sudden mental stress, scandals, or risky curiosity can surface. Jupiter, 4th and 7th lord, natural neutral, functionally benefit. Jupiter rules emotional foundation, 4th, and partnership, 7th, making it functionally benefic, though its natural stance to Mercury is neutral. When Mercury-Jupiter conjoin in the 1st, it gives spiritual intellect, wisdom, and clear values, Guru Buddha Yoga. In the 4th, it provides comfort through education and moral upbringing. In the 7th, the native attracts ethical and intelligent partners, ideal for business alliances or teaching roles. Saturn, 5th and 6th lord, natural neutral, functionally mixed. Saturn rules intellect, creativity, 5th, and conflict, illness, 6th. It's a neutral to Mercury, but creates both blessings and challenges based on placement. A Mercury-Saturn conjunction in the 1st house produces a serious, deep-thinking individual, often intellectual but reserved. In the 5th, it brings structured creativity or discipline in education. In the 6th, it supports long-term professional stability, but may delay success through health or karmic service burdens. Functional summary for Virgo rising. Most auspicious alliances. Venus and Jupiter support Dharma, wealth, and guidance. Temperamental synergy. Sun, friend but 12th lord, Moon, enemy but 11th lord, Saturn, mixed results. Obstacles and friction. Mars owns Dustana, activates conflict and urgency. For Virgo ascendants, Mercury's alliances determine whether their intelligence translates into healing, leadership, or anxiety. Friendly planets stabilize the mind and profession, while enemies or malefics push them into excessive analysis, control, or scattered service. Success comes through balancing reason with emotional intelligence and structured karma. Planets, friends and enemies, Capricorn rising. For Capricorn ascendant, Saturn is the Lagna lord, symbolizing discipline, structure, endurance, and karma. It also rules the second house, linking self-worth and speech to sustained effort and legacy. Saturn is naturally slow-moving and detached, so its planetary friendships have significant influence on how Capricorn natives handle responsibility, ambition, and inner stability. Saturn, Lord of first and second, friends, Mercury, Venus, enemies, Sun, Moon, neutral, Mars, Jupiter. Saturn thrives when supported by practical, thoughtful planets and struggles when joined with luminaries that push emotional or egoic intensity. With dual rulership of both self, and values resources second, the planet's allies and adversaries shape the native's path to authority, income, and inner security. Mercury, sixth and ninth lord, natural and functional friend. Mercury rules conflict, service, sixth, and fortune, higher mind, ninth, making it a functional benefit stabilizer. As Saturn's natural friend, Mercury enhances logic, strategy, and success through analysis. A Saturn-Mercury conjunction in the first gives sharp intellect, calm authority, and capacity for sustained academic or bureaucratic work. In the sixth, it leads to healing professions, legal work, or steady progress through challenges. In the ninth, it channels Dharma through documentation, writing, and rational spiritual inquiry. Venus, fifth and 10th lord, natural and functional friend, Yogakraka. Venus rules intelligence, fifth, and career, 10th, making it a Yoga Karaka for Capricorn ascendants. As Saturn's natural friend, Venus refines Capricorn's seriousness with charm, creativity, and grace. A Saturn-Venus conjunction in the first produces poised, diplomatic leaders, ideal for law, governance, design, or structured artistic fields. In the fifth, this pair supports intellectual success and patient romantic karma. In the 10th, it yields career success in arts, media, judiciary, or aesthetic domains with long-term recognition. Sun, 8th lord, natural enemy, functional malefic. Sun rules the 8th house of crisis, transformation, and hidden karmas. Being Saturn's natural enemy and a Dustana lord, it's one of the most difficult influences. A Saturn-Sun conjunction in the first creates identity tension, father issues, or emotional suppression, yet also builds endurance and karmic resolve. In the 8th, it can give occult insight, but the native may face legacy issues or bureaucratic delays. Ego challenges and power dynamics must be carefully managed. Moon, 7th lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Moon governs partnerships, public image, and marriage, 7th house. Although a Kendra lord functionally neutral, it's Saturn's natural enemy. A Moon-Saturn conjunction in the first gives emotional reserve, maturity, and responsibility, but often reflects early emotional deprivation or relationship anxiety. In the 7th, it may bring marriage with a caring yet moody partner or delayed partnerships based on karmic depth. Balancing emotion and duty becomes critical in long-term unions. Mars, 4th and 11th lord, natural neutral, functionally mixed. Mars rules emotional core, 4th, and ambition social gains, 11th, making it functionally mixed. Though neutral by nature, Mars's fiery drive contrasts Saturn's slowness, creating inner tension. A Saturn-Mars conjunction in the first brings assertive authority, mechanical skill, and leadership under pressure, but risks frustration or cold anger. In the fourth, it may give emotional detachment or property gains through discipline. In the 11th, it promotes achievement through technical or combative careers, but social life may feel transactional. Jupiter, 3rd and 12th lord, natural neutral, functional malefic. Jupiter governs effort, ego, 3rd, and loss, spiritual isolation, 12th. 2 Dustana houses, making it a functional malefic for Capricorn rising. Despite being sattvic, Jupiter's guidance becomes scattered here. In the first house with Saturn, it gives idealism grounded in realism but may delay recognition. In the 3rd, it can enhance persuasive writing or spiritual advocacy, but ego struggles are likely. In the 12th, this pair may retreat into isolation, introspection, or overseas karmas with a sense of duty to serve. Functional summary for Capricorn rising: Saturn's most harmonious allies, Mercury and Venus, natural and functional friends, support service, creativity, and structured growth. Challenging influences: Sun and Moon, natural enemies, bring karmic tests around power, relationships, and emotions. Volatile combinations: Mars, ambitious but impatient; Jupiter, philosophical but misplaced. For Capricorn ascendants, Saturn's planetary friendships define whether they build their empires through wise restraint or suffer burnout through inner tension. When supported by Venus and Mercury, their legacy thrives with grace and precision. But when aligned with Saturn's enemies, their climb is steep, requiring karmic discipline, humility, and long-term vision. Planets, friends and enemies, Gemini rising. For Gemini ascendant, Mercury becomes the Lagna lord, signifying intellect, communication, adaptability, and nervous vitality. Since Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury, planetary friendships here deeply influence the native's thought process, speech, and relational patterns. The logic of planetary friendship must be viewed both through Mercury's natural disposition and its ownership of the first and fourth houses. Mercury, lord of first and fourth, friends Sun, Venus, enemy Moon, neutral Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Mercury's rulership of both the ascendant self, body, expression, and the fourth house, home, mind, mother, inner contentment, makes it a Kendra dual lord, enhancing its central role. Since Mercury is fickle and easily influenced, its planetary friendships or rivalries become pivotal. Sun lord, natural and functional friend. Sun rules the third house, connected to courage, communication, siblings, and short journeys. As both a natural and functional friend to Mercury, their conjunction brings brilliance to writing, media, self-expression, and bold speech. In the first house, Mercury Sun, Buddha Aditya Yoga, creates intellectual vitality, sharp logic, and oratory skill. In the third, this forms a strong communication signature and entrepreneurial drive. Venus, fifth and 12th lord, natural and functional friend. Venus governs intellect fifth and loss, liberation 12th, making it a functional benefit with spiritual undertones. Being Mercury's natural friend, Venus enhances refinement, love of art, and romantic intelligence. In the first house, a Mercury-Venus conjunction gives charm, literary skill, and social grace. In the fifth, it supports performing arts, creative business, or luxurious romantic expression. In the 12th, it brings psychic awareness and sensual depth, though privacy is vital. Moon, second lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Moon is a natural enemy to Mercury and rules the second house, dealing with wealth, speech, and family lineage. Though its house ownership is neutral, its emotional and fluctuating nature disturbs Mercury's logic. Mercury-Moon conjunction in the first creates moodiness in speech and inconsistency in self-expression. In the second, the person may earn through language or caregiving, but suffer from vacillating values unless other benefits stabilize the combination. Mars, 6th and 11th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Mars rules two Dustana houses, the 6th, obstacles, debts, and 11th, desire, gains, making it a functional malefic. Though neutral to Mercury, it can disrupt the airy, intelligent qualities when ill-placed. In the first, a Mercury-Mars conjunction leads to sharp intellect but argumentative behavior. In the 11th, this pairing fuels ambition and competitive gain, but may strain friendships. Strategic effort is needed to channel this into success. Jupiter, 7th and 10th lord, natural neutral, functionally benefic. Jupiter rules two powerful Kendras, the 7th, relationships, and 10th, career, making it a yoga karaka for Gemini rising, despite being a neutral to Mercury. Jupiter brings wisdom and ethical strength to Mercury's quick wit. If Mercury-Jupiter conjoin in the 1st or 10th, the person becomes a charismatic teacher, strategist, or communicator. In the 7th, it brings idealistic partnerships, though Mercury's playfulness must not trivialize Jupiter's gravitas. Saturn, 8th and 9th lord, natural neutral, functionally mixed. Saturn governs the 8th, transformation, secrets, and 9th, dharma, fortune, houses. Though its natural relationship to Mercury is neutral, the house duality creates both positive and challenging results. A Mercury-Saturn conjunction in the 1st gives maturity and stoic speech, though it may cause anxiety. In the 9th, it can bring structured belief systems and academic discipline. If in the 8th, the native may experience deep psychological insight or communication through research and occultism. Functional summary for Gemini rising. Strongest planetary allies for Mercury, Sun and Venus, naturals, functional friends, forming creative and intellectual yogas. Volatile or mixed energies. Moon, Mars, Saturn, either natural enemies or Dustana lords, require moderation. stabilizers with benefit potential. Jupiter, Yoga Karaka, neutral but highly auspicious due to house rulership. These planetary dynamics shape how Gemini natives process information, speak, relate to others, and approach life's changes. Their intelligence can be finely tuned or scattered, depending on how planetary friendships enhance or distort Mercury's core functions. Planets, friends and enemies, Libra rising. For Libra ascendant, Venus is the Lagna lord, governing grace, balance, aesthetics, relationships, and value systems. Venus also rules the 8th house, bringing a layer of depth, transformation, and hidden energy into the native's identity. Understanding which planets are friends or enemies to Venus gives clear insight into how Librans navigate both harmony and upheaval in life. Venus, Lord of 1st and 8th, friends, Mercury, Saturn, enemies, Sun, Moon, neutral, Mars, Jupiter. Venus's placement with friends amplifies diplomacy and charm. With enemies, it can create emotional friction or ego conflict. The 8th house rulership adds secrecy and complexity to the otherwise elegant Libra nature, especially when enemies are involved. Mercury, 9th and 12th lord, natural and functional friend. Mercury rules fortune, 9th, and lost liberation, 12th, 2 houses that govern spiritual dharma and moksha. As Venus's natural and functional friend, Mercury enhances philosophical thinking, spiritual creativity, and mental adaptability. A Venus-Mercury conjunction in the 1st brings articulate charm, strong ethics, and persuasive intelligence. In the 9th, it supports success through diplomacy, design, or teaching. In the 12th, it channels subtle wisdom through dreams, foreign ventures, or spiritual practices. Saturn, 4th and 5th lord, natural and functional friend. Saturn rules emotional foundation, 4th, and intellect creativity, 5th, making it a functional benefic and a yoga karaka for Libra ascendants. As Venus's natural friend, Saturn grounds its sensuality with structure and depth. A Venus-Saturn conjunction in the 1st house gives a cool, mature persona, creative yet reserved, refined yet enduring. In the 4th, it brings a disciplined home life. In the 5th, artistic intelligence, disciplined romance, or karmic progeny patterns. Sun, 11th lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Sun governs gains, ambition, and elder circles, 11th house, so it is functionally neutral, even though a natural enemy to Venus. A Venus-Sun conjunction in the 1st house can bring ego-related issues in relationships or vanity. In the 11th, this pairing may lead to ambition through social grace, public image, or media. But ego conflict and competition in friendships must be managed carefully. 10th lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Moon rules the 10th house of profession and public life. Despite being a natural enemy to Venus, Moon's Kendra ownership renders it functionally neutral. A Venus-Moon conjunction in the 1st creates sensitivity, beauty, and artistic magnetism, but also emotional fluctuations in identity. In the 10th house, this duo gives popularity in art, media, or wellness professions, but public moods or emotional reactivity may affect long-term stability. Mars, 2nd and 7th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic, Maraka. Mars owns 2nd, speech, wealth, and 7th, relationships, both Maraka houses, making it functionally malefic. Though neutral by nature to Venus, its house rulership brings intensity. A Venus-Mars conjunction in the 1st creates irresistible charisma, sexual magnetism, and drive, but also volatility in partnerships. In the 7th, this pairing indicates passionate, karmic relationships that may alternate between love and conflict. In the 2nd, it brings gains through assertive communication or entrepreneurship. Jupiter, 3rd and 6th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Jupiter rules effort ego, 3rd, and conflict healing, 6th, both Dustana houses, making it a functional malefic for Libra. Although it's neutral to Venus by nature, it can undermine Venusian harmony when ill-placed. A Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the 1st house gives a soft, generous presence, but may also bring excessive indulgence or ethical confusion. In the 3rd, it provides verbal fluency but ego clashes. In the 6th, spiritualized service, but potential overextension in social obligations. Functional summary for Libra rising. Strongest supporters of Venus, Mercury and Saturn, both natural and functional friends, powerful for dharma and artistry, emotionally or socially destabilizing. Sun and Moon, Natural enemies bring ego-emotion conflict. Challenging influencers, Mars and Jupiter, Maraka and Dustana lords, intensify karma or health emotional strain. For Libra natives, Venus's planetary alliances define whether grace evolves into creative mastery or gets weighed down by crisis, ego, or emotional turmoil. When guided by Mercury's clarity and Saturn's stability, the Venusian principle of harmony thrives. When pulled by Mars or Jupiter's karmic burdens, detachment and inner work become necessary to restore balance. Planets, friends and enemies, Aquarius rising. For Aquarius ascendant, Saturn again becomes the Lagna lord, but this time it rules the 1st and 12th houses, connecting the identity with loss, isolation, spirituality, and subconscious patterns. This dual rulership brings a unique blend of realism and detachment. Planetary friendships for Aquarius natives shape how they balance worldly responsibility with visionary ideals and karmic dissolution. Our Saturn, Lord of 1st and 12th, friends, Mercury, Venus, enemies, Sun, Moon, neutral, Mars, Jupiter. Saturn's alignment with its friends enhances intellect, stability, and long-term success. But pairing with enemies such as Sun or Moon, especially with 12th house influence, can cause isolation, ego suppression, or emotional distance. Aquarius rising natives are often ahead of their time, and these planetary relationships shape how they manifest their futuristic, humanitarian impulses. Mercury, 5th and 8th lord, natural and functional friend. Mercury rules intelligence, creativity, 5th and sudden change or longevity, 8th, a mix of auspicious and hidden domains. As Saturn's natural friend, Mercury brings analytical skill and transformative intellect. A Saturn-Mercury conjunction in the 1st produces a serious thinker, often philosophical, mathematically inclined, or reform-minded. In the 5th, it supports tech-savvy creativity or academic depth. In the 8th, it fosters research, occult interest, or breakthrough insights, but mental overactivity or secrecy may need balancing. Venus, 4th and 9th lord, natural and functional friend, Yoga Karaka. Venus is a Yoga Karaka for Aquarius ascendants, ruling home emotions 4th and fortune dharma 9th. As Saturn's natural friend, Venus softens its austerity with grace, love, and beauty. A Saturn-Venus conjunction in the 1st lends poise, artistic brilliance, and steady charm. In the 4th, it grants comfort through aesthetics or spirituality. In the 9th, it bestows higher learning through art, beauty, or refined values. Together, they ground elegance in ethics and devotion. Sun's nth lord, natural enemy, functionally neutral. Sun rules the 7th house of partnerships, legal contracts, and public presence. While a natural enemy to Saturn, it is functionally neutral due to Kendra ownership. A Saturn-Sun conjunction in the 1st house may create inner conflict, oscillating between humility and ego assertion. In the 7th, it could cause delays or power struggles in relationships, but also attract influential partners. Public image may fluctuate between authority and social restraint, requiring conscious balance. Moon 6th lord, natural enemy, functional malefic. Moon rules the 6th house of obstacles, competition, and disease, and is also Saturn's natural enemy, making it doubly difficult. A Moon-Saturn conjunction in the 1st may produce emotional suppression, karmic burdens from childhood, or health issues tied to stress. In the 6th, it can manifest as chronic emotional imbalance, especially in caregiving roles or litigation. Yet if well placed, this pairing fosters inner strength through service and resilience in conflict. Mars, 3rd and 10th lord, natural neutral, functionally mixed. Mars rules effort and communication, 3rd, and profession public life, 10th, giving it Kendra and Upachaya significance. Though naturally neutral to Saturn, its aggressive energy contrasts Saturn's discipline. A Mars-Saturn conjunction in the 1st brings endurance, leadership, and technical ability, but risks internal frustration or rigidity. In the 3rd, this pair gives bold communication but potential for disputes. In the 10th, it supports slow but forceful rise in careers requiring authority, like engineering, law, or administration. Jupiter, 2nd and 11th lord, natural neutral, functional benefic. Jupiter governs wealth, speech, and gains social networks, 11th, making it a functional benefic for Aquarius rising. Though naturally neutral to Saturn, Jupiter uplifts Saturn's cold rationality with faith and expansion. In the first house, a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction creates mature, ethical, socially responsible individuals. In the second, it brings wealth through teaching, speaking, or structured investments. In the 11th, it boosts gains via institutions, large groups, or philosophical associations. Functional summary for Aquarius rising. Saturn's strongest allies, Venus and Mercury, natural and functional friends, blend creativity, logic, and karma. Moderating influences, Jupiter and Mars, neutral planets with mixed but potentially powerful outcomes. Challenging combinations. Sun, ego conflicts in relationships, Moon, emotional suppression and karmic service load. For Aquarius ascendants, Saturn's friendships define whether their futuristic ideals manifest in stable, ethical leadership or get delayed by emotional burdens and relational detachment. When backed by Venusian grace and Mercury's logic, they become visionary reformers. But with Moon or Sun, karmic lessons around vulnerability, pride, and identity may slow, but ultimately refine their legacy. Planets, friends, and enemies, Cancer rising. For Cancer ascendant, Moon is the Lagna lord, governing emotions, intuition, receptivity, nourishment, and maternal identity. Since Moon is the fastest and most sensitive of all grahas, planetary friendships for Cancer rising must be read with an emotional, psychological, and functional lens. Moon's stability depends heavily on whom it associates with. Moon, lord of first, friends, Sun, Mercury, enemies, none. Neutral Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Moon only rules the ascendant, which keeps its influence concentrated. It has no declared enemies, but its neutral planets, especially Saturn and Mars, can weigh down its fluid nature when poorly placed. Sun, second lord, natural friend, functionally neutral. Sun governs the second house of wealth, speech, family lineage, and values. As Moon's natural friend, Sun helps stabilize the identity through family pride, communication, or material focus. If Moon-Sun conjoin in the first house, the person expresses strong charisma and authority through emotions. In the second, this pairing leads to powerful speech, ancestral pride, and persuasive leadership rooted in personal history. Though Sun is not a Kendra or Kona lord here, its support boosts inner confidence and earning potential. Mercury, third and 12th lord, natural friend, functionally malefic. Mercury is a natural friend to the Moon, but becomes functionally challenging due to its ownership of the third, ego, competition, and 12th, loss, isolation, houses. When Mercury conjoins Moon in the first house, it creates a blend of emotion and intellect, apt for writing, analysis, or negotiation, but can also lead to overthinking and anxiety. In the third house, Virgo, Moon-Mercury enhances communication, but may bring sibling rivalry or ego conflicts. In the 12th, it may create sleep disturbances or escapism through overanalysis. Mars, 5th and 10th lord, natural neutral, functionally benefic, Yoga Karaka. Mars becomes a Yoga Karaka for Cancer rising by ruling both a Trikona, 5th, and a Kendra, 10th. Though it is neutral to Moon, its results are very powerful when favorably placed. In the first house, Moon-Mars brings bold, emotional expression, assertive nurturing, and physical vitality, though it can make one prone to mood swings and anger. In the 10th, Aries, this forms a powerful Raja Yoga, pushing the native into leadership through creative energy or courageous acts. Jupiter, 6th and 9th lord, natural neutral, functionally mixed. Jupiter governs the 6th, enemies, debts, and 9th, fortune, higher values, houses. The combination of Dustana and Trikona makes it functionally mixed. Though neutral to Moon, it can uplift or challenge depending on house placement. In the first house, Moon-Jupiter forms Gaja Kesari Yoga if angular, producing emotional wisdom, generosity, and philosophical charm. In the 6th, this combination may bring resolution through spiritual service or education, while in the 9th, it leads to a destiny involving ethical or religious service. Venus, 4th and 11th lord, natural neutral, functionally benefic. Venus governs domestic life, 4th, and gains social success, 11th. It's neutral to Moon, but functionally helpful. When Venus conjoins Moon in the first house, it makes the native extremely attractive, emotionally charming, and artistically expressive. In the 4th, this pairing gives comfort, maternal affection, and love for beauty in the home. In the 11th, it offers gains through the arts or through emotionally appealing public presence. Saturn, 7th and 8th lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Saturn rules the 7th relationships and 8th crisis transformation houses, making it functionally malefic despite being neutral to Moon. Saturn's cold and delayed nature weighs heavily on Moon's soft emotionality. In the 1st house, a Moon-Saturn conjunction brings emotional heaviness, insecurity, and maturity, often learned through suffering. In the 7th, this could delay marriage or bring karmic lessons through partners. In the 8th, it indicates psychological depth, though prone to suppression and long-term emotional fatigue. Functional summary for Cancer rising. Most emotionally stabilizing influences: Sun and Mercury, natural friends. Mercury requires careful placement. Powerful karmic allies: Mars, Yoga Karaka, Jupiter, potentially uplifting. Venus supports emotional security. Caution needed with Saturn, relationship and mental burden. Mercury, when linked to 12th or 3rd houses. For Cancer ascendants, planetary friends and enemies matter less in technical conflict and more in emotional chemistry. Since the Moon fluctuates constantly, even neutral planets can leave deep emotional impacts, requiring nurturing, expressive, and spiritually aligned planetary influences to anchor their growth. Planets, friends and enemies, Scorpio rising. For Scorpio ascendant, Mars becomes the Lagna Lord, governing intensity, transformation, power, survival, and initiative. Mars also rules the 6th house, linking personal vitality with struggle, service, and karmic enemies. Understanding Mars's planetary friendships helps decode how Scorpio natives direct their emotional force, handle conflict, and regenerate through adversity. Mars, Lord of 1st and 6th, friends, Sun, Moon, Jupiter. Enemies, Mercury. Neutral, Venus, Saturn. Mars is a fiery, action-oriented graha. When aligned with its friends, it channels strength and purpose. With enemies, it produces agitation, internal stress, or scattered energy. Since Scorpio rising involves deep psychological layers, Mars's allies and rivals shape both external behavior and inner evolution. Sun, 10th Lord, natural and functional friend. Sun rules the 10th house of profession, karma, and public authority. As a natural friend of Mars and functional Kendra Lord, the Sun strongly empowers Scorpio natives when well placed. A Mars-Sun conjunction in the 1st makes the native dominant, ambitious, and driven to lead. In the 10th, it gives political clout, leadership in government, or success through authoritative roles. This pairing fuels a focused, commanding career identity rooted in action. Moon, 9th Lord, natural and functional friend. Moon rules the 9th house of Dharma, fortune, and higher guidance, making it a powerful functional benefic. As Mars's natural friend, Moon balances intensity with emotional purpose. A Mars-Moon conjunction in the 1st lends emotional bravery, instinctive judgment, and spiritual passion. In the 9th, it brings blessings from teachers, foreign travels, or maternal karmas, ideal for spiritual warriors, educators, or healers who serve through intuitive wisdom. Jupiter, 2nd and 5th Lord, natural and functional friend. Jupiter governs wealth, 2nd, and intelligence progeny, 5th, making it a functional yoga karaka for Scorpio ascendants. Being a natural friend of Mars, Jupiter uplifts the chart greatly. A Mars-Jupiter conjunction in the 1st grants idealism, knowledge, and moral action. In the 2nd, it brings wealth through philosophy, law, or education. In the 5th, it amplifies creative intelligence, teaching potential, and noble lineage. This combination can make the native a bold teacher or principled reformer. Mercury, 8th and 11th Lord, natural enemy, functional malefic. Mercury rules sudden transformation, 8th, and ambitions gains 11th, making it a functional malefic. As Mars's natural enemy, Mercury brings mental conflict, overanalysis, or gossip that destabilizes action. In conjunction with Mars, especially in the 1st, it creates argumentativeness or mental volatility. In the 8th, this pair may give research aptitude or occult knowledge, but risks nervous tension or secrecy issues. In the 11th, they may pursue gains aggressively, but lose clarity or ethics without benefic aspects. Venus, 7th and 12th Lord, natural neutral, functionally malefic. Maraka Smoksha. Venus governs relationships, 7th, and losses or moksha, 12th, same. Though neutral to Mars naturally, Venus acts as a functional malefic, being a Maraka and 12th Lord. A Mars-Venus conjunction in the 1st house produces magnetic attraction, sensuality, and intense romance, but also ego clashes and karmic partnerships. In the 7th, it creates deeply passionate, possibly turbulent relationships. In the 12th, it can lead to spiritualized love or hidden indulgences, requiring balance. Saturn, 3rd and 4th lord, natural neutral, functionally challenging. Saturn rules effort, ego, 3rd, and emotional base, 4th, houses which are not inherently auspicious. Though neutral by nature, Saturn's coldness contrasts with Mars's fire, creating friction. A Mars-Saturn conjunction in the 1st causes a push-pull of energy, discipline versus rage, control versus aggression. In the 3rd, it brings disciplined speech but rivalry. In the 4th, the native may experience emotional suppression or a challenging maternal environment, but gains resilience over time. Functional summary for Scorpio rising. Ideal partners for Mars's power: Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. Natural and functional friends: fuel karma, wisdom, and wealth. High friction dynamics: Mercury, enemy and malefic; Venus, neutral but Maraka; Saturn, neutral but restrictive. Best outcomes emerge from Mars directed through Jupiter's dharma or Moon's intuition, especially when balanced by Sun's leadership. For Scorpio ascendants, the battlefield of transformation is constant. Mars's true allies fortify the soul through clarity, faith, and vision. Its rivals, when poorly managed, pull energy into internal wars. Mastery lies in directing Mars's raw will into service, structure, and spiritual evolution. Planets, friends and enemies. Pisces rising. For Pisces ascendant, Jupiter is the Lagna lord, governing faith, expansion, idealism, and spiritual evolution. It also rules the 10th house, tying the native's identity directly to their karma, career, and public responsibility. This dual rulership makes Jupiter immensely influential, and its planetary friendships deeply shape the native's journey of purpose, recognition, and dharmic alignment. Jupiter, Lord of 1st and 10th, friends, Sun, Moon, Mars; enemies, Venus, Mercury; neutral, Saturn. Jupiter's path of growth is supported by its fiery and luminary allies, but can be challenged by conjunctions with its natural enemies, especially when functional roles add karmic tension. For Pisces natives, Jupiter's friendships determine how well they integrate spiritual ideals into real-world systems. Sun, 6th lord, natural friend, functional malefic. Sun governs the 6th house of service, conflict, and healing. Though a functional malefic due to Dustana rulership, it is a natural friend to Jupiter. A Jupiter-Sun conjunction in the 1st boosts vitality, courage, and leadership, but may bring karmic health issues or adversarial situations. In the 6th, it fosters success through medical fields, government service, or ethical combativeness. The native must manage ego and learn humility in the face of challenge. Moon, 5th lord, natural friend, functional benefic. Moon rules the 5th house of intellect, progeny, and past life merit, making it a functional benefic. As a natural friend of Jupiter, this is one of the best planetary relationships for Pisces. A Jupiter-Moon conjunction in the 1st produces charisma, intuition, emotional depth, and spiritual creativity, ideal for teachers, counselors, or healers. In the 5th, this pairing enhances teaching, artistic expression, and divine protection, marking strong karma with children, love, or knowledge. Mars, 2nd and 9th lord, natural and functional friend, Yogacaraka. Mars rules both the 2nd, speech, values, wealth, and the 9th, dharma, higher knowledge houses, making it the Yogacaraka for Pisces ascendants. Being a natural friend to Jupiter, Mars offers willpower, protection, and noble drive. A Mars-Jupiter conjunction in the 1st makes the native bold, dharmic, and articulate, ideal for leadership or moral crusades. In the 2nd, it gives commanding speech and resource strength. In the 9th, it drives travel, philosophy, and bold ethical convictions. Mercury, 4th and 7th lord, natural enemy, functional benefic. Mercury governs domestic peace, 4th, and relationships, 7th, 2 Kendras, making it a functional benefic for Pisces despite being Jupiter's natural enemy. A Jupiter-Mercury conjunction in the 1st creates inner conflict between intuition and logic, faith and facts. In the 4th, it supports intellectual homes, academic families, or real estate dealings, but may bring emotional detachment. In the 7th, it indicates intelligent partnerships, but also possible clashes in values or spiritual outlooks. Venus, 3rd and 8th lord, natural enemy, functional malefic. Venus rules effort, siblings, desires, and secrets, transformation, inheritance, 8th, both Dustana houses, making it a functional malefic. As a natural enemy to Jupiter, Venus disrupts spiritual clarity when ill-placed. A Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the first can bring sensual charm, but internal conflict between indulgence and dharma. In the third, it leads to artistic skill, but ego-driven desires. In the eighth, it may cause secret romantic entanglements or karmic debts tied to love and power. Saturn, 11th and 12th Lord, natural neutral, functional mixed. Saturn rules gains networks, 11th, and loss spirituality, 12th, yielding a mixed functional role. It is naturally neutral to Jupiter. A Saturn-Jupiter conjunction in the first house grants wisdom through discipline and experience, producing a teacher, philosopher, or spiritual guide. In the 11th, this duo supports structured social impact. In the 12th, it favors monastic paths, institutional work, or karmic detachment. However, excessive austerity may hinder personal joy or health if unbalanced. Functional summary for Pisces rising. Most dharmic allies for Jupiter. Moon and Mars, natural functional friends, activate creativity, karma, and legacy. Mixed alliances. Sun, friend but sixth lord. Saturn, neutral, brings depth or delay. Challenging influences. Mercury and Venus, natural enemies, may distract Jupiter's sattvic direction. For Pisces ascendants, Jupiter's support system defines whether they rise as compassionate visionaries or get clouded by material enticements and mental restlessness. With Moon and Mars, they realize spiritual purpose through creativity and courage. But Venus and Mercury, when not spiritually aligned, may pull them into detours that test faith, values, and emotional clarity.